Welcome back, Rabbi Chape. So, this is the simulation of consciousness. So, as we bring consciousness to the body's awareness, to be somebody, we become the body as a person, as a separation in all that we see. And as we carry that consciousness around in the body of who we consider ourselves to be, all else collapses into consciousness of what we see in who that body be. And so what we think and feel about, what we speak about, in how we act, in who we are, in how we see from our consciousness of who we be, we collapse that into our reality. So if you're going about all day, every day in your life, starting from today, forgetting about everything that you know in life. Now, it's not just going to happen today because you've to overcome your conscious way of thinking to a new way of being. And so, if you could understand from today as you move forward in the life that you desire, the life that you want to be, that you want the body to be in, what life do you want? And to bring that into your conscious way of thinking each and every day forward until you're feeling that you're living that life. And when you're feeling in how you're thinking, that it becomes an emotional part of your body, that you're vibrating outside of you, that you're acting as if that's you. What you will see is around you is the world of consciousness collapsing into that shape that you've created in how you think and how you feel, that creates that vibration into a reality where consciousness collapses into shaping what you dream, what you see, in who you be. And so if you can see it this way and look at your life and you wonder why your life is the way that it is or where you are at in your life, if you sit with yourself and start to see yourself in the separation in how you see in your way of thinking and how you feel to your way of thinking and how that vibrates out here for you to see. And the more you think and the more you feel, the more you vibrate into that reality, that consciousness collapses for you to see more of what you dream to be, in how you see in your thoughts and feel in your body, in who you are. And so that bees in all that you see because you vibrate out, telling consciousness, this is who you be, this is who you like to see, this is who you love to be. And so with consciousness collapsing all into reality, for you to vibrate more by what you see, showing consciousness who you are and what you want to be by how you think and how you feel from the body and mind. And so consciousness brings it into your reality. And so when you go through your day, however you're thinking, however you're feeling, consciousness collapses everything into your reality to match that. And so if you're in a bad way of thinking, and it's that way every single day, then you're going to see things around you that's going to make you think that way. That's going to make you feel that way. And it's all because of how you started to think. And so you create a pattern of thinking that creates a pattern of feeling, that creates a pattern in consciousness, which creates a reality outside of you through consciousness collapsing from how you be. And so if you start today with positive way of thinking about who you want to be, until you're feeling that way of who you want to be, by building up them thoughts until it becomes a feeling. And then you build up more thoughts and enhance that feeling, so you get more feelings about how you're thinking in the way that you want to be. And the more you create, the more you will see as you move forward into that reality. And before you know it, your consciousness is collapsing everything into how you want it to be, by how you feel and how you see, through mind and body, spiritually and physically, brought together in that entanglement into your consciousness belief, so you could see. And remember, you've done this since you were born. When you were born, all you could see was the light, until you were able to think and feel about all that you could hear through other consciousness, in other vessels. And then you learned to collapse that consciousness into pictures of how you would see things to be. And so you begin to see your mother's face, your father's face. And you could say, but everyone sees that, but they don't see it like you see it, because you're in a different space and time, another dimension. And so you will always have a unique way of looking at them compared to anyone else. We all are the same but different in our space of time. And as we collapse our consciousness, we bring in that picture, that framework that we've put into ourselves in our way of thinking and our way of feeling. And so then we start to see. We start to see our consciousness put everything into a physical reality, while once all it was light. Consciousness was light that creates all that we see. And that starts by how we are vibrating in who we be, from all that we sense outside of who we be. And so that makes us think. And then so many thoughts will make us feel towards them thoughts. And as that entanglement comes together and vibrates, we start to create pictures of how that vibration would be. And then we begin to see our mother, our father, our siblings, other beings, other things. And then we pick up from these people, these beings, these vessels, and how they feel towards these things, how they feel about life. And so we start to feel like they feel, and we never truly be who we want to be. We vibrate off others and who we see. And so we start to be just like who they be. And then we find ourselves wanting, like they be, to be somebody else other than what they see and who they be. And then we find ourselves doing that, while forgetting about the consciousness of who we be, and where we started, and how we could see clearly until we got interrupted by the physical that started to create a vibration in who we be. So we started to see like all the physical facets that we'd see in their reality as separation from all that we see. Well, we were always connected as one in wholeness, in that light that creates all that there is to see through the consciousness of who we truly be. And so when we bring our mind and body together entangled into that vibration of what we want to be, then we soon can start to see. But this must be a priority. This must be your work. This must be you. Nothing outside of you can take over that. You must be in control of your thoughts and feelings and bring yourself forward to be who you want to be until you are that person. And by that time, you'll want to be something else or something more. And so then you move forward in being that. And you see, anything that you are in life, you had to think about it and feel about it to get to it. That was you being consciously aware of what you wanted. And you focused on it. And they taught you this at school. You learned and you focused on it until you were good enough till you could get to where you needed to get to. And maybe you studied to be an electrician. And you did everything around it. You thought about it, you felt about it. And you went out here as you thought and felt about it, and it brought you to the things physically because you were thinking and feeling about it. And as it brought you to the physical things, that brought you to doing it. And the more and more you thought and felt about it, the more and more that would come up for you to learn about it, to become it. You see, you already knew it all. You just had to see it on a physical level to understand how it would be on the physical plane. And just like that, anything that you want to be, anything place that you want to go, anything that you want to do is there in your consciousness. You've just got to think and feel about it. And keep thinking and feeling about it until you get there. Anyway, this is just my explanation of consciousness, how we all are consciousness trapped in vessels, and what's outside of us, we'll all see it differently. Although it will seem similar, but it'll be different in the space that we hold ourselves in. And so whatever we are vibrating in, we will attract that towards us by how we see it. And that will be through our way of thinking and feeling towards the world. And sometimes we won't see that because we're not thinking and feeling in the right vibration of who we want to be, but by what we see, in who we already are. And we don't see who we already are until we stop and look at our mind and how we are thinking and how we are feeling towards them thoughts that's making us act in the way that we are acting, that collapses that consciousness into making us think the way that we are thinking. And so we must look back within ourselves to rethink who we want to be so we can become that person in who we see we want to be by rethinking and refeeling a way of seeing that we want to be and not what the world wants to show us who to be and who we see in others in separation of all that we see. And so this way we can become who we truly want to be in the consciousness of all, the godly consciousness. Anyway, this is my view, my explanation. Hopefully gives you some insight to you and how you can have the life that you want if you truly put that effort in how you're thinking and feeling. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life or where you're at in life. You could be in the worst job in life and have the worst days in your life, but that doesn't stop you from thinking positively about your life and who you want to be. You can still go through the process of what you're going through, and you can still think about you. You can think about you enough until you start feeling that this is you. And then you become that by seeing your life change as you move forward in all that you've been doing. And you'll see things collapsing into shape that will pull you in a direction away from who you are to the place of where you want to be. But you must have open eyes to see it, to be aware of it, by being aware of who you are. Okay, that's gone on longer than I thought, but hopefully it gives you that insight into awareness, consciousness, and who you are, and how all comes together. This is Happy Chappy, love and peace.